Day 4 kicks off with the JCB Triumph Hurdle, half one on Friday, which is the 15th of March this year. And as you can see from the marker behind us, it's currently 11 to 10 Sir Eric. Fakir Dare 11 to 2 could go obviously for the Supreme. Kel Destan 7 to 1. Pick Dory, if you don't know who that horse is, he hasn't run in England yet. 10 to 1. Band of Outlaws 12 to 1. Tiger Tap Tap 12 to 1. Gardens of Babylon 14 to 1. Pentland Hill 16 to 1. Ajali 16 to 1. And 18 to 1 Bar. There's only one place to start here, Don McClean, and that is Sir Eric. Now, there's people who hate the Triumph Hurdle, there's people who won't have a bet in it, and yet here we have what Paddy Power, Boyle Sports, all these betting firms, I'm sure Bet Hard are the same, they're saying that this is the horse they fear most for the whole week at Cheltenham. It's Sir Eric. Will he win?
I think the Triumph Hurdle is a great race, and have done always. I suppose especially since the Fred Winter Hurdle came in. It does take a lot of the also rounds away from the Triumph Hurdle, but Sir Eric is, look, he fits everything. He's a classy horse from the flat. He finished third behind Stradivarius in the long distance cup at Ascot. He was very good at his debut when he won his maiden at Leopardstown over Christmas. He was even better the last day. His jumping was superb. He got out in front. He dictated a nice pace. He flew the last flight, and it's very difficult to pick holes in him. Like he's won that maiden that he won as a good pointer to the Triumph. The Spring Juvenile Hurdle that he won is a good pointer to the Triumph, and he just has it all. He'd probably progress again. He's trained by Joseph O'Brien, who has a very, very strong team of juvenile hurdlers, obviously. So, and he looks to be the best of them and has been for a while, even with Fakir Dudery's winning the Triumph Hurdle trial at Cheltenham. So he's a monster horse. He's a lovely horse to look at, and yeah, look, he's by far the most likely winner of the race. I thought Tiger Tap Tap was interesting before the Spring Hurdle. He was a bit disappointing. He was only beaten the neck by him in the maiden hurdle at Leopardstown over Christmas, and he got the last flight wrong and was closing at the line. He was disappointing the last day, but Willie Mullins was saying there, and maybe Mikey will have more news on this, that he kind of thought maybe he left him, maybe should have been a bit harder on him between the two races, and that maybe he could improve, because he did travel well into the race in the Spring Hurdle, and then he just didn't seem to finish, just seemed to get tired on the run-in. But if he can improve back to the form of his maiden hurdle, that leaves him with not much to find with Sir Eric. Now, I know Sir Eric has improved since then, so he'll have to improve again. But I think he's better than he was able to show in the Spring Hurdle. And actually, the Spring Hurdle, it's the beaten horses in the Spring Hurdle who have a better record in the Triumph Hurdle than the winners. So I wouldn't rule out Tiger Tap Tap yet.
And at 12 to 1, Don, that's obviously, given how close they were in the maiden hurdle, that would scream value to a lot of people.
Yeah, no, like, you have to forgive him that last run, but if there is a reason for it, and if he was maybe, if Willie thinks that he should have been harder on him, and if he's obviously going to be hard on him between now and the Triumph Hurdle, or between then and the Triumph Hurdle, then he could improve significantly. And if you go back to that run, Sir Eric's an 11 to 10 shot, he's a 12 to 1 shot. He just might be a wee bit overpriced.
Okay, dokes, we like that. A 12 to 1 start to Friday at Cheltenham. Diarmuid Nolan, Tiger Tap Tap is obviously a horse that's disappointed coming into the race. And when you look through this list here, there is a few of them with questions to answer, isn't there?
There is definitely. I think the English brigade aren't very strong this year. I think that's kind of fair to say. Sir Eric, I kind of wouldn't be inclined to take him on really, bar looking for an each way angle into the race, as he usually would. And Gardens of Babylon, I think, actually ran much better the last day than he's getting credit for. He's bred as well as Sir Eric. He ran in the same maidens on the flat. And then you're looking at the last day, he's kind of much less flashy, I suppose, than Sir Eric is, in that he doesn't have that immediate pace. They let Sir Eric a freebie on the day, really. Sir Eric jumped ahead, did everything he had to do. He hurdled spectacularly. I'm not taking anything away from the winner, but the rest of them killed each other in behind. Gardens of Babylon ended up having to come wide. He stayed on really well. That race, it's not going to work out like that at Cheltenham. I think if Gardens of Babylon has 3-4 lengths to make up with Sir Eric jumping the last, he'll give him a fright. And I think at 16 to 1, I think the horses between Gardens of Babylon and Sir Eric, apart from Tiger Tap Tap, who I can easily see the angle on him, like, you're taking pure word on Pick Dory from Paul Nichols, who is prone to talking up a horse or two. You've got Cadison, who's been running in races that are just English juveniles. Fakir Dudery's absolutely kicked him apart. Fakir Dudery's isn't going here. Band of Outlaws, I just don't think he's as good as Gardens of Babylon. That's the fact that he's top weight in the Fred Winter. he could end up going there. So I think the kind of 14-1 there about Gardens of Babylon for the Triumph Hurdle, I think he is the clear second best horse for me in the division, and I think he'll chase home Sir Eric, and he might give him a fright.
Oh, we can't argue with that. A 12-1 and a 14-1 poke for the Triumph Hurdle. Mikey, I'm sure you've heard of Sir Eric, have you?
Yeah, I have. I've seen him in Leopardstown. Yeah.
Just checking.
I spoke. I heard Walshy thinks he's an absolute airplane. Sir Joseph won it before. If the ground is good, I'd say he won't come off the bridle as he Group 3 winner. I was chatting to a fella there, Ian Quealy. He works in Ballydoyle, and he was at the Wexford and Clare game on Sunday. He's a Clare fella, and I said, "What about this Sir Eric? Were you in Ballydoyle and he was there? Would you be afraid of the Ballydoyle factor, like of getting drilled as a youngster?" He said he wasn't 100% sound as a younger horse, and he missed a lot of the 2-year-old campaign, so he got none of that, and he's a laid-back character. So he's meant to be a jet, Walshy said, and at 11-10, look, I wouldn't back him either, but I can't see any of the rest. I thought the horse that would put it up to him and beat him doesn't run. He ran in Kempton the last day, Fazil Rafael or something like that. I'd be getting my money and backing him in entry. He's by Sands to Sands. He's a savage pedigree, and he was keen that day, and he took the last 2 hurdles out of the ground like a horse that he had nothing else in his head about going around again. Darrell Jacob didn't hit him. I would have fancied him to beat Sir Eric, but apparently got a bad gash on his back leg at the second last, and he's not running. But for me, it'd be Sir Eric to win, but he'd be the one in the juvenile division this year I'd be looking at. Deadly national hunt pedigree to do what he did on good ground around Kempton. He's only going to get better.
Mikey, we're going to have an entry preview. You have to give us the winner of the National. I'm saying this is a good thing.
Yeah.
You have to give us the winner of the Grand National, and you have to give us the winner of the 4-year-old hurdle at entry as well.
And mark my words, he will win. He is a certainty.
So if you lose all your money at Cheltenham, don't worry, folks.
I even seen Darrell Jacob was even nervous coming in. He was afraid to say something to the press that had just put pressure on him.
Yeah, I hate people like that.
No, I admire that fella. He got the very best out of himself. He's a top-class rider.
Yeah, no, he certainly has. So Fusel Raffles, 1 for Aintree, and Sir Eric for Mikey Fogarty in the Triumph Hurdle. Dean Ryan, like favourites, you kind of have to. There's going to be about maybe, I'd say 6 favourites during Cheltenham that are going to be maybe 2-1 or shorter. So you're not going to be able to back them all, and some of them you'll have to take on. Is this one that's bulletproof?
For me, it's probably the most bulletproof of them. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to include Altior in this discussion, right? So Sir Eric is probably the one that is the full package. He's got everything. He's in the right hands. Everything he's done so far. Do you know what? The first run, I think he learned a lot more than he did the second run. Second run, he got let off on the loose lead. Mark Walsh had it very much his own way. I don't mean he learned too much, but we know what we're dealing with Sir Eric. So I can only see that price getting shorter. There was mentioned there that Darrell Jacob would have got a Fuso Raffles and been very excited until they found out obviously he's not going to make the festival. There's a horse at Alan King's, same colours, Simon Muneer horse called Cracker Factory, who at the early part of this season looked like a Triumph Hurdle horse. I think he was only just beaten by Kel Destan, who's in this betting here at 7-1. Cracker Factory is a 40-1 chance. You can't back him with Sir Eric in the race, I wouldn't say, but you can back him without Sir Eric in the race. He's 40-1, and I must give a word for Paddy Asper, who's obviously on the Racehour podcast.
He's good.
He's mad into Hannon, John McConnell's horse. Mad into him, and he's 40-1 chance. So if you take Sir Eric out of the race,
just beaten the Nason Sunday.
Chosen
in grade 2.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
should have won.
Yeah. So, and also, I don't know, he pointed out actually on the pod that I think David Noonan dropped his whip. A couple of furlongs to go still. So
he looked like me in the finish.
Well, you're looking at 2 40-1 shots there that if you can take Sir Eric out the race, I don't think they're that much of a back number, to be honest. Cracker Factory was supposed to run in the Fuso Raffles race. You now know why he didn't run, clearly. They had a very good horse to go with. So.
And is Hannon 40-1 as well?
40s.
2 40-1 shots. They're Hannon, Hannon, and Cracker Factory.
Yeah.
There's 2 for the notebook. Yeah, you might need them. Keith, you're given the last word on the Triumph Hurdle. Sir Eric, is he a good thing?
I think he is, yeah. He's very good. Last day, I agree. He probably had a harder race and learned more the first day at 30 runner maiden round Leopardstown. He'd learn a lot on that. It'll probably stand him in good stead. But just Horse of Gordon's Cure Sublime, he scoped bad last day. If he hadn't ran the last day, he'd have been one of my bets for the week.
Me too.
I'd like him.
He's a proper horse.
And if ever there was a race made for a horse to triumph, they'll go quick.
Yeah.
He reminds me a bit of Mega Fortune in that.
A little bit. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about him, he is a bit watery and a little bit gutless at times, but I know they might put cheek pieces on him, but he's a serious engine. He'd be probably the best workhorse in the yard.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. And tell me this, he was obviously laying behind, wasn't he, in Goran, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he back working now?
Yeah, he worked yesterday.
Wednesday we're on now.
Yeah, no, he worked with Battle Over Diane yesterday, actually.
Well, how did that go?
Went well, yeah. So he's 25 to 1 of that.
Now, he has a proper chance. I tipped him up in the Racing Post for the Triumph before Goran, and I looked like an absolute idiot afterwards because he ran a shocker.
You watch Goran coming out of the back, he'd have just said how far.
Yeah.
And he landed over the third last, and he just
stayer.
went dead. Yeah, he's a stayer. He's a proper horse for the future. He's not your typical 3-year-old. Well, sorry, 4-year-old now. You know, he's not one of them ones. Like, he's a big horse. I think the world of him.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't think that would be mentioned. I thought I'd be the only one to mention him. Cur Sublime, I think, as well, has got a cracking chance in the Triumph Hurdle. So, taking out Sir Eric, obviously, right, because we all think he's probably going to win. Give us the name of the horse that you think is going to be placed and to back each way. Donn McClean?
Tiger Tap Tap.
Keith Donoghue?
Cure Sublime.
Mikey Fogarty?
Pure Sublime.
Diarmuid Nolan?
Gardens of Babylon.
And Dean Ryan?
241 shots, Hannon and Cracker Factory. I'd probably side with Cracker Factory.
And it is Cur Sublime. For me, you can't do much better than that, folks. There's 40 to 1 shots, 14 to 1 shots, 12 to 1 shots, 25 to 1 shots. Hopefully one of them